What if everything you were told about Jesus was reversed? If you think Jesus came to start a religion, that belief was chosen for you. And if you think every word he spoke made it into the Bible, they shaped what you see, twice. The real Jesus wasn't building churches. He was igniting souls. He didn't say, "Worship me." He said, "Become what I am." His message was never about salvation through fear. It was about awakening through remembrance, a truth so dangerous that empires buried it beneath doctrine, gold, and guilt. But fragments survived, hidden in the Gnostic texts, whispering of a path the powerful tried to erase. And now that you've found this, it means one thing: your soul is ready. Because once you hear these 10 forbidden teachings, you won't just see Jesus differently, you'll remember who you truly are. Teaching 1. He came to awaken, not to be worshipped. Consider this: when Jesus walked the earth, his purpose was not to establish an empire of worship, but to gently nudge humanity towards a reflective understanding of the divine. When he proclaimed, "I and the Father are one," he wasn't showcasing his status as God incarnate. Instead, he was inviting us to see our own potential, to look into a mirror, and recognize that same divine essence within ourselves. This is where the scandal lies. Over time, organized religion twisted this fundamental teaching. They transformed what was meant to be a mirror into a throne, demanding submission instead of encouraging self-discovery. Think about it. The real Jesus empowered individuals, lifting them to recognize their worth and inner light. In stark contrast, the institutional version seeks admiration and obedience, cultivating a hierarchy that stifles personal connection to the divine. This is the essence of the first forbidden teaching. Jesus yearned for mirrors, not mascots. He wanted followers who embraced their inherent divinity rather than ones who passively outsourced their spiritual authority to him. Understanding this shifts everything. It dismantles systems of control that thrive on dependency and fear. When you reclaim your light and acknowledge that you are not merely a spectator in a cosmic play, but an integral part of the divine narrative, the chains of imposed belief begin to dissolve. Teaching 2. The kingdom is within, not above. When Jesus said, "The kingdom of God is within you," he wasn't just offering a poetic metaphor. He was revealing a fundamental truth about our inner lives. Imagine that idea: a paradise that isn't up in the clouds, shrouded in mystery, or hidden behind the gates of a grand temple. Instead, it's right there inside you, waiting to be discovered. This notion can be both liberating and terrifying. For generations, empires and institutions have thrived on the idea that divine connection requires rituals, payments, or the intervention of priests. But what if heaven isn't a distant goal you have to earn? What if it's a frequency, a state of being that awakens when you finally make peace with your inner turmoil? Think about those moments when you feel truly at ease, when the chaos around you fades and you find clarity. That sensation isn't just fleeting, it's a glimpse into the kingdom within. It shatters the illusions that keep us chasing after external validation. In truth, the journey isn't about seeking approval or fear of punishment. It's about remembering your inherent worth and tuning into that deeper frequency of existence. This internal revelation was a threat to those in power who relied on your disconnection to maintain control. By externalizing the idea of paradise, they kept you on an endless quest, all the while ignoring the treasure that's been resting just beneath your ribs. When we turn inward, that second forbidden teaching becomes clear. Heaven isn't a place to visit. It's a profound awakening that unfolds when we embrace our true selves. By reclaiming this wisdom, we can uncover our innate potential and step into a life of authenticity and joy. Teaching 3. Sin is forgetting, not permanent stain. Imagine for a moment that your essence is like a beautiful, radiant light, pure and vibrant. Now, consider how much of that light can be obscured by the shadows of guilt and shame. The oldest trick of religion tells us that we are intrinsically broken, that our worth is somehow stained by sin. But what if that sin is not your reality? What if it's simply a case of amnesia, a forgetting of who you truly are? Jesus didn't come to shame us. He came to open our eyes to our original brilliance. He lifted people up, not by reminding them of their mistakes, but by reaffirming their divine potential. When he healed the brokenhearted, it was not with a lecture on sin, but with a gentle reminder of their true source. You are not fallen, rather, you are veiled. Beneath those layers of misbelief and doubt lies your innate radiance, waiting to shine through. By peeling back those veils, you rediscover the luminous being you've always been, free from the weight of guilt. Embrace this truth and let your light illuminate the world. Teaching 4. The soul returns, the part they cut out. Imagine a time when the teachings of Jesus held deeper meanings than what later interpretations would allow. The early followers understood that the soul isn't confined to just one lifetime. It's an eternal entity that has journeyed through countless experiences. Jesus spoke of spirits returning, even referencing Elijah's resurrection. This notion wasn't merely a metaphor. It was foundational to their understanding of existence. The desert mystics, who safeguarded these truths, recognized something crucial. When a soul acknowledges its past lives and anticipates its future ones, fear of death dissolves. Think about it. What if death isn't the end, but merely a transition? This profound insight shifts our perspective, releasing us from the chains of mortality. Fear is a formidable tool that those in power use to control the masses. When people believe they have only one chance at life, they become easily manipulated. However, recognizing the continuity of the soul empowers individuals. You aren't just a fleeting figure. Instead, you're a library filled with the wisdom of all your past selves. Embracing the idea that life is a school, not a trap, invites you to see every experience as growth, not punishment. Each visit you take isn't your first. It's an opportunity to gather lessons and expand your soul's library. Acknowledge this, and you step into a sovereign existence, no longer bound by fear, but driven by purpose. Teaching 5. Mary Magdalene carried the inner teaching. Mary Magdalene carries a depth of teaching often overlooked in our quest for understanding. While Peter offered a structured faith, emphasizing the importance of community and doctrine, Mary embodied the essence of Christ's message. She wasn't the fallen woman history has too often portrayed her to be. Instead, she was an initiate, a deep thinker, and a spiritual partner who comprehended Christ's truths at a level few could grasp. With her, he shared insights that remained shrouded in mystery for the others, speaking directly without the need for parables that often obscured deeper truths. Her gospel isn't about dogma or blind faith. It's an invitation to directly know the divine, to deeply connect with the essence of our existence. This radical perspective is what made Mary a formidable presence within early Christianity, and ultimately a threat to the established order. Her voice was intentionally buried, obscured under layers of slander and misrepresentation, because what she offered was revolutionary. This leads us to the heart of the fifth forbidden teaching. The spiritual path was never intended to be male only. It was always meant to embody balance, to be inclusive and accessible to anyone willing to listen. The sacred feminine carries a potent force that unlocks revelation without the need for permission. When we silence this voice, we not only diminish our understanding of faith, but also lose the richness that comes from a balanced spiritual dialogue. By acknowledging Mary's role, we reclaim a vital part of our spiritual heritage and invite everyone, regardless of gender, to engage with the transformative power of the divine within. Teaching 6. This world is a shadow, not your home. In our journey through life, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the chaos and distractions of this world. Jesus once reminded us, "My kingdom is not of this world." which can often feel like a harsh dismissal of our earthly experience. Yet this isn't about a disdain for life on earth. It's a profound recognition that there's more to our existence. Think of this realm as a reflection, intricately designed to help us navigate through the complexities of our emotions and experiences. The struggles, the heartaches, that persistent longing for something more. These are not signs of weakness. Rather, they are echoes of a deeper truth, memories of a place where we truly belong. Remember, you are not here to simply fit in or conform to societal norms. You've come here to wake up, to remember who you are beyond the surface. This world wasn't crafted to complete you, but to activate you, to stir you from slumber and ignite the inner light that has always been within. Embracing this perspective can transform your journey, shifting the focus from seeking approval to seeking authenticity. Harness that homesickness. Let it guide you toward your truest self and your higher purpose. Teaching 7. The real enemy is amnesia, not a red devil. In a world filled with distractions, we often attribute our struggles to external forces, like a horned villain lurking in the shadows. But what if I told you that the real enemy isn't some mythical creature, but rather something much more insidious? It's forgetfulness, that gentle fog that veils our true nature and distracts us from who we really are. When we lose sight of our origins, we become vulnerable to any narrative that paints our lives as dependent on fate or fear. Each time we forget our connection to something greater, we allow ourselves to be swept away by the chaos surrounding us. This is the essence of the 7th forbidden teaching. It's not fear that we need more of, but remembrance. It's always been a battle to reclaim that lost memory. The struggle isn't against flesh and blood, but against the very fog that convinces us we are separate from the divine. Embrace your journey back, and remember, once you awaken to your true self, the narratives of fear lose their power. Teaching 8. Gnosis over belief. Gnosis, that profound inner knowing, stands in stark contrast to mere belief. When we talk about Gnosis, we're delving into that deep, almost palpable experience of the divine. It's not about what someone else told us about God or the latest sermon we sat through. It's about what we've felt, seen, and encountered on our own spiritual journey. Jesus pointed us to this inner temple, urging us to seek the divine not in dogma, but within ourselves. This wisdom fell to the wayside as structures like the church emerged, emphasizing belief systems, creeds, and membership. Why? Because belief is manageable. It can be organized, categorized, and enforced. But that direct experience of the divine, it's wild, uncontrollable, and uniquely personal. So, the 8th forbidden teaching nudges us. Don't stop at belief. Go further. Dare to seek your personal experience. Truth isn't something we parrot back. It's something we encounter, something that transforms us. When you meet truth directly, it reshapes your understanding, nudges you into growth, and connects you deeply to the essence of existence. Embrace that adventure. Gnosis is waiting for you just beyond the walls of belief. Teaching 9. Awakening has a cost. When we reflect on the life of Jesus, it becomes clear that he wasn't executed for spreading kindness or preaching love. He was targeted precisely because he disrupted the status quo. His teachings illuminated deeper truths, awakening individuals to realities they had long been blind to. This awakening ignited a fear in those who thrived on control, leading to resistance that ultimately cost him his life. When you begin your own journey of awakening, you might experience loss, rejection, or even misunderstanding from those closest to you. This can feel painful, as if something valuable has been stripped away. But here's the important truth. These experiences are not signs of failure, they are confirmations of your growth. You are moving closer to authenticity, and that often rattles the cages of those clinging to comfort zones. As the light within you rises, expect tension. The darker elements of your surroundings will resist your transformation because change can be threatening. Yet it's vital to remember, The fire ignited inside you predates any opinions or judgments cast your way. Keep ascending, no matter how fierce the backlash feels. The message here is clear. Embrace your awakening and let its light shine, for in that very embrace lies your true power. Teaching 10. You are the temple of God. Imagine for a moment that God isn't a distant figure, something locked away in the heavens, but actually pulses through you, literally breathing life into your very existence. This notion, the 10th forbidden teaching, that you are the temple of God, can be a little daunting at first. It challenges long-held beliefs that separate the divine from ourselves. When Jesus spoke about doing greater things, he wasn't speaking in riddles or metaphors. He was revealing a profound truth. Your essence is intertwined with the divine, a human divinity waiting to remember its own power. This is not about worshiping from afar, but recognizing that divine presence within you. It's about embodying humility and love. Think of how powerful it would be to transform this world not by domination, but by healing. Each of us carries a sacred responsibility to radiate that divine light, make room for compassion, and initiate change. When we embrace this perspective, we move from passive belief to active expression, and we may just find the strength to uplift those around us. Embrace this truth. You are not just in the image of God, you are the very expression of the divine. You've uncovered why these teachings were kept hidden, not because they were false, but because they empower you. When you recognize the kingdom within, when you understand that what we call sin is simply amnesia, you break free from the chains of shame. If something resonates deep within you, cherish that feeling. Speak it out, share it, and when you do, comment, "I remember." It's not for show. It's a signal to fellow seekers awakening from the same slumber. This is more than just content. It's a call to your inner church, one that exists beyond walls and facades. Embrace your true nature and walk boldly in light. Remember, you are not just a follower. You are a living expression of the divine. Don't forget who you are. Your voice is crucial in this journey.